Hi everyone, Dr. Mel here. Today's video, we're going to cover mindset and self-development mastery. So let's say you are a health professional who wants to establish their online presence, go viral, have an online practice or a coaching program, or let's say you're any other types of professional even. Let's say you work with how to create your own passive income, how to have an Airbnb, how to create digital courses. Whatever and whoever that you are, whatever that you do, before starting anything online, it requires certain self-development and mindset skill set in order to scale a company successfully. So I would like to cover some entrepreneurial mindset shifts in today's video, and this specifically I will also be covering it if you are a health professional and going into establishing your why, going into being proactive instead of reactive. And this is something that it's not talked about enough, and it's the most important element of running a business, whether it's online or in person, especially when it's online, because you have to be so sharp as a coach, as a business owner, in order to make it work. And one skill set that you need to develop is the art of being proactive. Next up is going to be all about execution. So we will be covering that. Ownership and accountability. Embracing fires would be the next thing. Letting go of perfectionism and delegation, team building. I have a story to share with you guys about that. And last up, self-leadership and discipline. So when it comes to entrepreneurial mindset shift, I know as a health professional, if you're going into business even more in depth, it can feel extremely different than what you're used to typically at like a health office or whoever that you are. Let's say you're somebody who has a 9 to 5 and you want to start your own business. It's going to be so different when you're transitioning from any type of a professional into an entrepreneur. You have developed like a specialized skill and expertise, but stepping into entrepreneurship, it requires to basically expand your mental framework. So because from here on out, it's not just about helping as many lives as possible. It's about thinking strategically about your business, your clients, your long-term vision, because it is through all of those things that you're able to deliver that world-class results in your fulfillment system. So a health entrepreneur and any type of entrepreneur focuses on so many more areas, because through proper systemization of your program and business, you're not going to be helping just yourself, but you're going to be helping so many people as a result. Basically, the key entrepreneurial mindset shift that you need to get accustomed to is developing comfort when it comes to risk and uncertainty, because in our professional positions, we are very certain. We have skill sets that we know what the outcome is going to be. When it comes to entrepreneurship, everything is basically a risk. The stuff that you're going to do may or may not work. And as let's say if you're a health professional or any other type of professional, you know exactly what you're going to do and exactly what type of results you're going to get. And that is a luxury that you're not going to have as an entrepreneur until you have become so good at your craft that you have dialed every aspect of your business. So I want you to know that you were not born out of your mother's womb with like a perfect CEO-like personality and entrepreneurial skill set. So all this you're going to be developing along the way. So the whole thing is about growth, embracing growth, and knowing that even if the variables aren't clear, you have entrepreneurial resilience and you're able to act with confidence in the face of uncertainty. So this is where the most important thing of all this is that you're going to be shifting from basically being an operator, which is like somebody who comes in, does whatever they need to do, they leave, you're maybe in a 9 to 5, maybe you are a health professional, whatever that you are, to becoming a visionary. And visionary is somebody that is not just doing what they need to do on a daily basis, but about why and what you can and what you are building for the future. So this is why we need to understand these key elements that I've typed here. When you understand your why, when you establish it, why are you asking yourself questions like, why am I committed to serving and why does it matter to me? You know, why am I even stepping into entrepreneurship? What type of a difference do I want to make? What is going to drive me to do this work every single day, because shit's gonna hit the fan, things are gonna get messy, things are gonna get tough, and it's in those tough moments that if you have that strong why, you're gonna keep going regardless, because you know that you're aligned with a larger mission, and it doesn't matter what's happening. So your why, when you establish it, like even I did it a few times when I was starting something brand new, it's got to be something meaningful, something that sits with your heart, and something that is gonna push you through regardless. Some people are like, it's my family, it's my success, it's my legacy, whatever that it is. This why is what's gonna hold you when things get rough and carry you through the ups and downs till you scale to whatever that you have in mind. Being proactive instead of reactive. One thing that I've personally learned in my business is the hard way is how to be proactive instead of reactive. And there are two types of people, in a sense, the way I like to describe it. So the two types of people, number one, we have and this is the type that makes it like a successful entrepreneur versus a burnt out entrepreneur. So burnt out typically results in failure. So when you are feeling burnt out, successful entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs that are constantly see what's happening. They see what's happening. They are a fixer instead of a reactor, and they are in control. Now we've got on the other side entrepreneurs that are burnt out, more likely to fail, is that they are very much reactive. Shit hits the fan and they blow up massively. They tend to complain about how they're feeling like things are happening to them, and why isn't it happening to others, and why is it happening to me? And they also start to focus on external situations, that, oh my god, this shit happened and we gotta fix it, or it's not even about fixing, because a fixer is a successful entrepreneur. They have this emotionally charged reaction and they're like, that's it, we can't do it anymore. Or the way they talk to others or they react is just something that causes them to not really gain loyalty, and that's what can hurt their reputation. Now, if you're a successful, proactive entrepreneur, you see what's happening, you take out the emotions out of it, you fix it, and you are in control. You know exactly the outcome of it and how it's going to be. The more calm and centered that you can be as an entrepreneur, the more that you can win, because even if you start making, let's say, 6 figures, however, you're having that reactive state, even more money is not even going to be a blessing for you, it's going to be a curse, because with that attitude and with that mindset, you're technically a loser and not really a winner. So when it comes to like proactive versus reactive, I'll give you a few examples just so you know it perfectly. Let's say there is a client cancellation last minute. Somebody that is more reactive is like, now perfect, my schedule is all messed up. When someone is more proactive, they're like, all right, let's use this time for something productive, or let's recharge. When you are a reactive entrepreneur, when you see other competitors' success, a reactive thought is like, why am I not there yet? Why are they so successful and why am I not there yet? But when you have a proactive frame of thought, you're gonna say, I'll take a look at what's working for them and I'm gonna see how I can use it for my purposes as well. That is where somebody is taking initiative. They're bold and they are gonna be so successful. So like some words that are in the reactive realm, reactive is like, I have to, this is always happening to me, it's not fair. Whereas we have our proactive words, which I can drop it down here. Instead of I have to, it's that I choose to. This is always happening to me, is how can I handle this? It's not fair. It's I'll make the best of it. You know, I can't handle it. This is a chance to learn and improve. I don't like this. I'm going to figure out how to work with this. This is how you have a proactive mindset. Now, when it comes to execution, going over here, business is not just about goal setting and having ideas and just creating strategies. That is not enough. It's about having a commitment to accountability and getting shit done, being focused on execution. A lot of people are in the idea phase. They get all excited and they're like, oh my god, I have this vision, I want to make it happen, and they don't actually fucking make it happen. So every vision needs to be broken down into actionable steps and follow through with exactly whatever steps that are necessary. So a lot of entrepreneurs entrepreneurs, they focus on the idea phase instead of actually focusing, keyword focusing, and choosing like one thing to execute on and removing all distractions, whether it's your phone, put it on airplane mode, whether it's like noises outside, put an AirPod on, whatever that's gonna pull your attention away from getting that shit done, you remove it. You work on it, you get it done. It's also about being decisive, because a lot of people, they take so long to make a decision and they're like, yeah, Mel, I'm type B, or no, I'm type A. In reality, like, yes, type A's, type B's exist, but it really doesn't exist. Like, if you really want to make something work, you just gotta decide fast. What is the difference between somebody making like $50,000 a month versus somebody making $250,000 a month versus somebody making a few $1,000s a month if they are all in the same business? The fact is that that person is making decisions faster. Imagine this, even if I were to put it in a perspective for you, let's say that it takes you 3 weeks to make a decision, then it probably takes you 3 weeks to execute. People always say like give it 21 days to see results, what type of results you're gonna see. Like 21 days of you committing yourself to something, you're gonna get the outcome of it real soon. But yeah, and then probably by like month 2, you're gonna know the results. Now, if you take that out, and if instead of this taking you 3 weeks, let's say you take 1 week to make a decision and 3 weeks to execute, you have just cut it down to a 1-month process. Even better, let's say it takes you 1 day to make a decision. You do all your reflections, prayers, whatever type of excuses you've told yourself before, 1 day to make a decision. Let's say you figure out your finances in 1 day, you make your decision on the big thing that you want to commit yourself to, you execute on it in 3 weeks, then you have cut it down to a 3-week process. And I'm sure even the process can be cut down faster if you have the right systems in place. So this is actually a good scenario. A lot of people, it takes them months or even years to make a final decision on what they want to do. But do you see how the entire process can be broken down in such a short amount of time? So with that being said, true leadership, it also comes about taking ownership and having accountability. So a lot of people act all helpless and they're like, oh my god, all this stuff is happening to me. And maybe you've been in other programs and other systems, you've tried other methods, approaches for your business, maybe you saw great results, maybe you saw no results. But when you have a mindset of extreme ownership and extreme accountability, then you're gonna do whatever it takes to make it happen. Like, you can have any program in the world, you can have any sort of knowledge in the world, but if you don't even take accountability and ownership, you're not even doing 50% of the way. Like, somebody can be a god or a lord, and let's say you want to learn how to do dropshipping, and they can be like the OG of dropshipping in the space, but even if they teach you everything, they cannot feed you money with dropshipping. Like, you have to take the steps to execute on it and to keep yourself accountable. So accountability is going to always start with you and then extend to your own team. For me, I developed this earlier on because for my high school, I actually homeschooled. I went to like a virtual academy, online academy. Technically it was a homeschool, and it was tough because for somebody who had, private school all through elementary and then public school and middle school, I was used to having like a set schedule, a set time, a set classes, a set day. And there I was in 9th grade, my life going upside down, having no guidance whatsoever. I remember I actually went to my aunt's and I was crying, and she is like the best at organization and all sorts of manager type of skill sets. She was like, Mel, you need a plan. And I said, what type of plan? Like, I don't even know what to do. This is so hard. I don't know how to manage everything. She said, like, write everything down, make it happen. And if anything, like, you're so lucky. You have the flexibility and the freedom of time. Instead of seeing it as a lack that, oh shit, I have to learn everything myself, see it as a strength, take extreme accountability and ownership and make it happen. And that is where I saw that, if you set some non-negotiable standards for yourself, if you implement it, and those standards, even translating it to your business, they become your business's code of conduct. And that's how you can eliminate excuses. When you hold yourself accountable, when you focus on taking ownership that things are not happening to you, you're the sole creator of everything that is going on around you, is how you can become a true leader and have the right mindset to develop a business. Now, embracing fires, letting go of perfectionism, delegation and team building, self-leadership and discipline. Embracing fires is all about, you're going to be going through a lot in your business, and it's not going to be pleasant. It's not meant to be pleasant. It's that if you really love to explore something and you want to make it happen, it's just part of the process. It's the shit that you gotta basically go through. But if you bring in that proactive mindset that I talked about and embrace them instead of being like, oh my god, this is going on, this is happening, and really take every single fire as a lesson and be like, okay, first of all, instead of panicking, how do I deal with this? How do I remove it ASAP? And second of all, what lessons can I learn so that it doesn't happen again? That is how you become an effective entrepreneur as a newbie entrepreneur. Letting go of perfectionism. As a doctor myself, I am extremely perfect when it comes to like having the right things in place. But one thing that I learned along the way was that business is not about perfection. One of my first coaches, he used to always say, fire and then aim. I was like, the guy's crazy. But he was right. And that's what he kind of installed in me. It was to just fire and then aim. Meaning you do not need to be perfect. You actually need to just execute on. And through the execution, you become perfect. So it's not about being already perfect and knowing what the heck to do, but you let go of it, you systemize, you plan, you actually start working on things, and that is how you become perfect. Delegation and team building. A lot of entrepreneurs try to save money and in result they lose time, and you got to look at this point in your business, is there anything that you can delegate on? Are there any tasks that are redundant, that are taking time out of your day, that you could be leveraging that time, putting it into more ROI, return on investment type of activities? And if there is, get somebody in ASAP. I started with like appointment setters and closers for my first business in my online health practice. I later on moved into content assistant, but this is where you just gotta see who can I hire to take the load off so that I have more time to be making more money. And self-leadership and discipline, again, is about bringing that discipline. This is a very creative work. It's not about what is set in stone. You're no longer a professional. As I mentioned, you are going to be an entrepreneur. So the most important thing is having the integrity, the code of conduct, knowing exactly what to do, what not to do, creating a discipline for yourself. And a lot of times that also involves what is going on around you, around your environment, around your house, around the people that you interact. If you are surrounded by distracted people, if you're surrounded in an environment that does not help you flourish, maybe it's an environment that you can't get rid of, maybe it's your family, then what would help me the most was to basically not talk about the stuff that I'm doing with the people that were not supportive of it, because the most important thing is to create that discipline. And for me, another way that I created the discipline was to commit myself to doing my exercises, my meditation and yoga every single day, because I noticed the amount of energy that I gain. It helps me to become a better entrepreneur, a more grounded, centered entrepreneur throughout the day. So looking at where are you lacking, what is your weaknesses in a sense, is it lack of focus, is it lack of energy, where do you need improvements, and finding those loopholes and working on it is the best way that you can ensure you are no longer an operator within a business, but rather a visionary, somebody that can leave a legacy even years after they're done doing the work that they're doing. I hope this video was helpful. Go ahead and check out the other videos we've made. Let me know in the comments if you'd like a series more on mindset and self-development. I'm more than happy to go even more in depth into every single section and cover different areas. But yeah, turn on the notification, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.